not a prophecy, and not necessarily a thus saith the Lord or a guarantee. I'm saying, in my opinion, these are two different subject matters. He wanted to put all of this on the table regarding crashes, in my opinion. That's completely separate what we're currently waiting on, which should be an actual spike before the crash. Okay, so I don't believe this in no way is saying, oh, we got to kick the can down the road again, that we are not going to have nothing happen till spring. I don't believe spring was speaking of the run or the wave or the spike. I believe the spring was in reference to crash. So in my opinion, we are still to be in expectation of the run and the spike before spring, okay? Because we know it's wave, crash, then wave, in my opinion. I also had 3 separate visions aside from today's visions from yesterday, also during a prayer session, with me being only minutes away from receiving, okay? However, that is another indicator and witness pointing towards that these are 2 separate events, not all talking about the same thing, and that what we're in expectation of right now, which in my opinion should be for the wave or spike, that that is 2 separate things than this spring reference in these visions, and that we can still be in expectation right now as far as the wave and a spike, because my visions yesterday showed I was only minutes away from receiving. So all of those were confirming you're about to receive. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, I could be wrong. We know in part and we prophesy in part. And so, however, even in my vision of about to be minutes away from receiving, it specified those who were in obedience and in higher levels of spiritual maturity, learning, growing, and purification. It had a stipulation. That was the location that was only minutes away from receiving. So this is not just an open-ended scenario for every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there. Only the people in this category were minutes away from receiving. And spiritual maturity doesn't mean, oh, I don't have a bunch of visions and dreams and this is, no. Heart posture, heart condition, and obedience and purification is more what he's looking at when it says maturity. Not necessarily it can, I mean, it does include a lot of that, but that's not the, foundation of what matters when he's saying maturity. So, that takes me into my warning before I close out. Attitude and heart posture. Warning. Alert. We had a November 30th date given. Our understandings and things led us to believe that something is about to occur either today or some time frame very close to it. I'm putting out a warning right now because remember, in my vision yesterday, it showed that only those in spiritual maturity, purity, and higher levels of obedience and spiritual learning were the ones about to receive. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, before you hop on the internet talking about another failed date, well, I mean, and to be honest with you, some people do get on here and continue to give dates and they keep failing and they just continue to keep on doing the same thing over and over. Whether it's that situation or not, just don't even waste your time. If you feel like someone that's all they do is give a bunch of false dates, then just unsubscribe from their channel and go about your life. Just don't even bother with it all anymore, honestly. Like if you think something is negative, disconnect yourself from it. Don't waste your time bickering, going back and forth, exposing people, this, and that. That's not where our focus should be. It's a waste of time and energy, frankly. And when you talk about the mature people are the ones that are about to receive, don't race to go discount something and say, this person is a false prophet or you lied or you promised this, you promised that. Be very careful, because if somebody is just like me, being very careful and saying, we know in part, we prophesy in part, we're not really sure, this is what we think is going on, we need to continue to seek and pray, which I have done, okay? And that's what the fast was about, and that's what the November 30th date was about. Don't go out there talking about, oh, another failed date, this, and that. Don't, because like I said, watch your heart posture and attitude at this time. Also, for people who were looking forward to today being the day where SHIB would take off. First off, the day is not over yet, at least not in the United States. Secondly, I don't care if this date comes and goes and it's gone bye-bye. I don't care if it's a day later, 2 hours later, 2 weeks later. I'm putting out an attitude and heart posture warning. Still stand in faith. The exact way you felt before November 30th got here, all that expectation and faith and belief, just continue standing in it. I thought that when today came and nothing happened, I would be so disappointed. Guys, I have peace. I feel the exact same way as if it wasn't even the 30th yet. So therefore, I'm still living and standing in faith at that notion, at that promise, and at that release, and at something happening and something coming forward and something changing. Sometimes the Lord does things on purpose to test us and see how we react. He will literally give us an exact date and a promise and fully intend on keeping that promise. And he may wait one day just to see how everybody will react in the next 24 hours. Will you curse God, get upset, get an attitude, get on YouTube acting like a fool, calling everybody false prophets, all this other stuff? Guys, don't go there. Everybody just still stand in faith, still pray, still seek, still praise, still celebrate, still stand in expectation. Nothing changes. Just because the date goes, nothing changes. And you will be surprised if the Lord sees that behavior, even though it may be late and even though it may be afterwards. You never know what the Lord may pop up and do to reward us for our proper reaction to things seemingly not going our way, or us seemingly not getting what we want. Did we throw a tantrum like a child, or did we stay standing and still do everything we were doing before the date came? Just continue it after it. I have no, I still am in the mindset of today, November 30th, and I will continue to stand in that posture. That any expectation, any moment now, any second now, any day now. Okay? So I'm just putting that out there. Lastly, many of you may be extremely new to all of this and not know how to place these so-called crash orders. Kraken is a great platform for low crash orders. I will try my best to include additional information on placing those orders and how to do it and where to do so in the comments. Warning: I can't guarantee how much information or in detail I will be able to get. So it is very likely you will have to add some of your own seeking or information from other sources that are out there to, you to accomplish everything you need to do if you just have no idea how to do any of this. So I'll try my best to put as much information below as I can. Channel disclaimer: this is not a full-blown ministry. I just hopped on today to share what I felt like the Lord had for me to share today. I have no idea what direction this channel is going to go in. He may never have me post another video ever again in my life. I have no clue. I'm saying that to say that I'm a sister in Christ, just like you guys, out here looking towards the same thing you guys, praying, seeking, trying all that stuff. Like, I've been in ministry for probably 13 or 14 years, just to give you a background. It's not like a random person coming to you with a message. But this channel, so far, I'm only coming as the Lord gives me things, and that's it. So as far as emails and allowing comments and responding to comments and being able to ask me a bunch of questions and all this and that, I'm taking this one day at a time as the Lord leads. As of right now, it's only to just deliver whatever he says I have to share. And that is it. So I wouldn't necessarily try to approach this channel as a ministry yet. Although I am serving in ministry in a lot of other ways, as far as YouTube right now at the moment, I'm taking it as he letting him lead. So I'm sharing that. So if you see comments turned off, you don't have a way to reach me and ask me questions and all this, whatever the Lord has me put forth is whatever he's having me put forth. And that's that. until and if he moves me or leads me to do anything additional or otherwise. Okay, guys? So I didn't want you to get offended if things seem kind of closed off over here. Because at this point, to my understanding, it's really about bringing forth if he has something for me to share. And that's pretty much it at this time. However, this is a very time-consuming job. I do work in ministry full time and lots of other areas in ministries outside of this. So even when a situation like this, where I said it took 5 hours worth of visions and seeking and praying, and researching, it took way longer than that. But as far as what I was receiving, it took 5 hours. And then you had additional hours after that to put everything together. And so this job is very time consuming if you guys don't realize that, what it's like to run a ministry and to be inside of the prophetic. It consumes a lot of time. This is our full-time job. And so to kind of make sense of why you may see me post a link if anyone wants to bless this ministry, or if this message has blessed you, or you feel, it's all about what the Lord leads you to do. You may watch something that may be insignificant to somebody else, but the Lord may move on you and tell you donate something to that person. You don't know why the Lord may be telling you to do that. You just do it, right? So I didn't want you guys to get confused when you see a link. If you choose, I'm not asking anybody for anything or saying, oh, you must tithe to me because I posted one video. No, I'm making a link available simply because I was led to be able to make it available. Okay. And whoever the Lord moves on and whoever's obedient, that is what it will be. And it will be nothing else. So I will include the link if anyone feels led to donate. And when I say my ministry, not necessarily the YouTube ministry, but in general, because I said I have a lot of other ministries going on. It's just that whatever he taps me to also jump into and work on and contribute to, I'm going to do it. So, even with everything I have going on, if he says, oh, jump in the YouTube pile and, put this out there, I'm going to obey. He's the boss, right? So, God bless you guys. Remember what I said. Keep standing in full expectation and faith. I don't care what the date is and what the day is. Continue praising, continue worshiping, continue seeking, and continue believing and being in expectation and faith that these things are about to be released any moment and any day now. And I promise you guys, the Lord will show up and show out, and he will reward hearts and faith being in the right posture. Okay, God bless you guys. Good night.